Hey girl, hey, what's good? Welcome to Finally 50. I'm Grace, and this is where I talk about how I'm trying to be the best version of myself as I turn 50 this year and hopefully bring y'all on the journey with me. I get told I look young a lot. A lot of people think I'm 35. And I remember making a TikTok about this last year, and somebody was like,
"Oh my God, Grace, it's okay to look your age, like you actually look your age."
and I was like, listen, everywhere I go, all the time, people tell me they think I'm about 35. I am, for the record, 49. I will be 50 this year. That's why I started this channel. And I'm up in the camera so you can see there's no filters on. I'm not adding any filters. You can see I have eye bags. I mean, I do have a little bit of makeup on right now. I was going to film this without makeup, but I actually had somewhere to go earlier. But I have a little bit of makeup on. It's not all that much, but you can see, like, I have skin, I have flaws, I have scars, I don't have any pimples right now, but this is what my skin looks like. I'm all in the camera trying to get this in a natural daylight before it gets dark. This is me. But yeah, people usually do think that I look about 35, and I wanted to address it because I have gotten a lot of questions over the years of just sharing online, because like I said, I have another YouTube channel and a podcast and a TikTok, and on there people will ask me, like, do you obsess about skincare, and have I had cosmetic procedures and things like that to maintain looking young? So I thought I would just once and for all make a video that addresses why I think I look generally about 15 years younger than I am. The first one is just genetics. It's literally just genetics. I remember my mom looking so much younger than she was all the time. I remember people be like, how old is your mom? Because she don't look that old. It was something that happened literally all the time everywhere we went. I think when my mom was 50, I think people thought she was 30. My mom had to hit 70 years old before people were like, okay, that's an older woman. She definitely aged really well. And my mom has now since passed, and I never talked to her about it. I never asked her about it. I'm assuming it's genetics too. I take that back. I do remember seeing my mom take good care of herself. She had a vanity. She said, you know what, maybe she did do some good skincare, y'all, because she did sit down, and I remember her doing her little routines. My mom was always greasy looking, and I really think she was oiling her skin, and I'm going to mention that in my list. But number one is definitely genetics. The number two reason why I think I look younger than I am is because I've never really drank. I just never got into drinking at all. When I turned 21, I was just like, I'm not super interested. I went most of my adult life without drinking, and then I started drinking socially, like one drink here and there, probably about 5 years ago or so. And I still only have one drink here or there every 2 or 3 months. So I don't think I've ever been drunk. I think there was one time, that was on my birthday for like my 46th or 47th birthday, where I still didn't drink a lot. 2 double shots. That's all I had, and I got pretty drunk, but I never got to the point where I was throwing up. I've never thrown up as a result of too much alcohol. For example, I'm just not a drinker. But I do know that drinking ages people. I'm also never been a smoker. I've never smoked cigarettes. I've never smoked weed. I smoked weed one time. I smoked a blunt one time, but I've never been in a regular habit of smoking. And I think that alone, just those 2 things alone, are a big reason why I look younger than I am. Smoking and drinking ages you, just flat out. The third thing, skincare. I really didn't develop like a skincare routine in any sort of way until I was about 42. The things that these girlies be out here doing now in their 20s and really in their teen years with all these serums and masks and all that, I didn't do any of that, y'all. But I will say one thing that I think has made a big difference for me is when I was like 39-ish, I started using oils on my face, and that I think has really helped. I started using castor oil. If you don't know, start doing some research about castor oil. Castor oil is supposed to be the anti-aging Botox in a bottle. And I just started sliming my face with castor oil basically every night and every morning. So for the last, I would say 9 years or so, castor oil has been a part of my skincare routine. And it's nothing special. I just dip a little bit of facial oil, like a raspberry oil or almond oil, or like a tiny bit of tea tree oil, or just something to help it get a little thinner, because castor oil is really thick. And I just slather my face in that every night and every morning. And I do think because of the anti-aging benefits of castor oil, that has probably helped. Another thing I think that's helped me look a little bit younger, I'm not sure about this one, but I think just trying to stay healthy and be physically fit for the last, actually, I'm just going to say, I'm going to go ahead and say my whole adult life, I've been pretty active. But oftentimes a woman's body in her 40s and into her 50s is showing what she did in her 20s and 30s. In my 20s and 30s, I was running marathons. I was doing Taebo all the time, Tai Chi. I was doing walking. I was always doing some sort of movement. I didn't love when I had my babies that I gained, significant weight. So I was pretty much trying to work off the baby weight. And then I always just have felt better when I've moved. That's another thing my mom has given me. My mom started taking me to a gym when I was like 10. I would go with her. And the gym we went to had a women's only day. So it would just be the girls' day. It was like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday was like women's days, and the rest of the day was men's days. And she would take me on the women's only day. And I remember just seeing my mom. I think it was called Lifetime Fitness. I want to say that was the name of it. Lifetime, if you hear, thank you for introducing me to a life of physical health early. Okay, so those are all the things I have done. Here's what I haven't done. I haven't done any Botox, any fillers, obviously, anything under the knife whatsoever. First of all, I've never in my adult life ever felt like I had the money to afford any of that. But if I had the money, I don't know if I would do it. I would say right now, if I had the money, I could see myself at some point doing something to address my bags under my eyes. So like I said, you can't tell because I have makeup on, but I do try to cover it. They can get very dark. They're hanging. I could see myself doing something to address that. I don't know if you can see in the camera that I have lines and stuff. I think this is what the stuff that people get Botox for. And I know people get Botox for this. I know this is like, these lines definitely age you. I don't know. I can't say I never will. I definitely feel like women should do what they want to do with their lives and their bodies. I have went back and forth. If I could afford lip filler, would I do it? I mean, I like my lip. I could see liking them if they were a little fuller, but like I said, right now it's not even an issue because I can't afford it. I got 3 kids and a lot of bills. I'm financially vulnerable right now, and I would never pay money for that right now while I can't afford it and while I don't live in a house. Until I have my own house, y'all will not be seeing me put anything in this face. Until I can afford it and comfortably afford it, I wouldn't do it. But I'm trying to decide, in 5 years, maybe I'll be like, okay, I'm ready for some Botox. I'm ready for some filler. But as of now, at 49, I'll be 50 this year. I have not yet done it. Another thing that I have not done is sunscreen. I wish I could tell y'all that I have been so faithful with my sunscreen. Oh my God, you got to take care of your skin. Y'all, I grew up a little black girl in the hood, and sunscreen was not like a big thing when I was a kid. We're Gen X. Nobody was talking about no damn sunscreen. We was just running around outside. I was getting caramel brown. I miss the days when I used to get caramel brown, but now, I mean, I live in Michigan. It's, what is it, January, whatever. I ain't seen the sunshine for 5,000 years. I don't know when I'm gonna see it again. So I have never got into a habit of it, probably because I live in Michigan and it's just not warm enough here to get into a year-long habit of sunscreen. I probably should, I admit. And then the other, I think, underrated part of skincare and looking young and feeling good in general, I know somebody's gonna say this is so out of left effing field, but I really try to de-stress. Stress doesn't help the body. And yeah, I know it doesn't go straight to your face, but I'll be honest with y'all, when I was in an abusive marriage, my second marriage, when he started abusing me, I could feel it in my face. This is something I've talked about in another video when I talked about being abused, is that I could feel this part of my face physically drop when he would start abusing me. It was like the indication that the abuse was starting. I could feel it physically drop, y'all. I used to do narcissistic and verbal abuse coaching for other women survivors of abuse. And because I talked to so many women and I asked them the question, like, what was the physical symptom? What was the thing you felt in your body when the abuse started? And women have so many different things. And mine was actually my face. That I know the correlation between stress and physical ailments because I have experienced it in many ways, but that was just one that was so specific. But anyway, since then, I try to de-stress as much as possible, and I try to counter stress with rest. I also practice meditation very faithfully. And then I also release hate. I don't let myself hate anyone. I mean, the only one that I hate right now, the only person in the world that I can say I truly hate is the President of the United States of America. But except for him, I don't really let myself dwell in hate. I try to get it out of my body and release it out into the world so that I'm not poisoning myself. And I think that actually leads to my youthful glow as well. Anyway, to wrap this up, as a reminder for me, and I hope for you, feeling good is the goal, not looking young. Having peace is the goal, not looking young. Living a life where I feel like I'm strong, like I got energy to, move around this world with my kids and hopefully my grandchildren one day. That's the goal. It's not looking young. It's really internally feeling young. That's the goal that I try to get at every day. And when people tell me I look young, I'm just like, thank my mama. Thank my mama and that castor oil, baby. And if you're curious, I'll link the castor oil that I've been using for the last decade. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.